Timing is key. I mean, if you look at gold, gold hit another record high. The tariffs, we could talk about that, but really, it's been 3-4 years of a down cycle, and I think things are kind of, I think people are starting to finally, realize that gold is, just like Bitcoin, these other things are, a good hedge against inflation. So.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. Joining me now is Kareem Rani. He is the CEO of Falcon Gold. And Kareem, great to see you again. How are you?
Steve, I'm doing well.
Good to have you along. And I know you put out some news today talking about your great burnt copper project in Newfoundland. Before we get to the news itself, just remind everyone a little bit about that one.
So the Great Burnt Copper District is a prolific copper belt, central Newfoundland. We got two companies doing extremely well to the north and south. One is Benton Resources. They just released another 22-meter zone of 7.5% copper. They've got about 1 million tons identified, grading 3.5%. So, that's better than 90% of the companies out there. We believe we have an extension that flows north right through our main zone. We did have some hiccups. We had to change drillers partway through for a number of factors: equipment, terrain. We had to kind of swap out a very, very experienced driller that can handle this type of rock, because it's very difficult up there to work.
Yeah, so you've engaged Warrior Drilling is now taking over that project. So tell me a little bit about the first drill program be about 10 holes, right? Are you looking at some areas that you've identified some anomalies in the past?
Yes, I mean, all this was previously news released 3 months ago.
Yeah.
We've got 10 targets to go after. We managed to get a couple holes done, prior to the year end, which we should be releasing here in the next couple of weeks. We got visuals. The rock looks very good. It looks, pretty much near identical to what our neighbors are getting. So we're looking forward to getting the drill started here in the next week or so.
And Newfoundland still continues to be a hotbed. We had a couple of years ago, people were all talking about Newfoundland. Then it sort of died down a little bit, but it's still positive and things are happening there, right?
Timing is key. I mean, if you look at gold, gold hit another record high. The tariffs, we could talk about that, but really, it's been 3-4 years of a down cycle, and I think things are kind of, I think people are starting to finally realize that gold is just like Bitcoin, these other things are a good hedge against inflation. So.
Yeah, and I guess it's also positive it's in Newfoundland. So even with those tariffs, you're operating in a jurisdiction that is safe and sound right now, at least for now.
Newfoundland is one of the best areas to work. I mean, yes, you got some terrain, but from a point of permitting, the government, etc. I mean, it really is one of the best areas in Canada.
Kareem, good luck with everything. We look forward to our next talk when you get some results back, and excited to see what's going on at Great Burnt Copper. So appreciate your time. Thanks.
Thank you, Steve. Bye.
All right, Kareem Rani, the CEO of Falcon Gold.